I know that sounds real sexy. I wish I had a fun story on how I did it. Like, I don't know, I was running a mini marathon, or maybe I had a wild night. But no, I pulled my back out because I flinched. You know you're getting old and you're out of shape when a gust of wind sends you for medical intervention. But I do know there's other ways I can tell that I'm getting older. Like, for instance, I'm beginning to think the clothes at Cracker Barrel are just a little too revealing. I went there to get my Mama's pancake special, and I thought I was in Fredericks of Hollywood. But don't you know I bought one of those sexy boo-boos. And I'm gonna rock it tonight. And when I mean rock it tonight, I mean wear it while sitting in a lazy boy recliner catching up on Downton Abbey. That's where I'm at in my life. But getting old's a bitch. But I'm lucky because I got a lot of friends. Some of you are here tonight and they're getting old with me. Woo! And how do I know we're getting older? By the topics of conversation at the girls' trips. We love a good girls' trip because it's cheap therapy, right? Well, we used to get together and talk about what clubs we were going to, what cute guys we were going to see. And now we start out our girls' trips by comparing our anti-anxiety meds. Last time we had a little Wellbutrin on the left, a little Zoloft on the right, sprinkle in a little Prozac, and we're like, oh, no, bitches get crazy with the Prozac. Oh boy. After we talk about our anti-anxiety meds, then we check in with each other to see what level of depression we're in. Last time we had a little seasonal affective disorder going on. And I'm not entirely sure, but one of us may be bipolar. Jury's still out on that. After we do that, all the moms in the group compete with each other to see which one of their kids was the biggest asshole that day. And that takes a long time to get through. Then we move on to an exciting game of which body part hurts the most. Last time we were together, my one friend was like, check out my orthopedic shoes because my plantar fasciitis is back. I had another friend that was like, that's nothing. I can't sneeze or cough without dribbling in my whiskers. And I don't mean those white chin hair whiskers we've got to start plucking out when we're 40. Now, I didn't want to brag, but I was like, well, I got to sit sideways because my hemorrhoids flared up 3 weeks ago. It's like somebody lit a match and stuck it up my butthole, so that's a little problem. But the true test of how gracefully you're aging is by the celebrity you're compared to. Now, way back in the day, I got a little bit of, you kind of remind me of Sandra Bullock. I said way back in the day. Fast forward 10 years, I got a whole lot of, boy, you remind me of Rosie O'Donnell. What happened to Sandy? About 4 years ago, and I should tell you that I often misjudge situations, but about 4 years ago, I was at an airport, and I felt somebody staring at me. So I looked up, and it was a very attractive man, and he leaned forward, so I immediately started planning our wedding. And he said, do you know who you look like? And I was like, Sandra Bullock? And he was like, oh, hell no, honey. No. You look just like that crazy lady in the movies that hobbled the guy's ankles with a sledgehammer. I was like, Kathy Bates from Misery? He goes, yes, you could be her twin. And I was like, thank you, and I hope your plane goes down, you dick. It gets worse. I was out in Los Angeles recently. I was at a bougie hotel. And I'm walking down the hallway, and I glance over, and I'm like, hey, is that Danny DeVito? And then I'm like, oh shit, that's a full-length mirror. Did I mention that your nose sucks? I'm not sure at what point I was being compared to a woman and it's crossed over to being mistaken for a man now. What's next? A hobbit from Lord of the Rings? I'm not sure. But I haven't completely given up. I mean, I give it a try. I don't try real hard. I don't try real often. But I do try. I signed up for a spa day. I was going to do a little self-love, a little self-care. And I don't know if you know the difference between an American-style spa and a European-style spa. But I learned the hard way. I was greeted by a Romanian named Olga, who looked at me. Now, Olga, I think, probably could have won a gold medal in the Romanian powerlifting event. She was sturdy, and she was aggressive. So she looked at me and said, take off all clothes. Now, if there's any Romanians out there, I apologize. I think I just offended you. But she said, take off all clothes, which was a little confusing because I thought I signed up for a facial. Anyway, I wasn't about to mess around with Olga. She told me to get up on the table. She hands me a privacy patch, which is about the size of a bar napkin. Now, I'm not sure if all you guys in the back can see up here, but there's nothing on this body that's going to be covered by something the size of a bar napkin. Hand me a full-length quilt. We might be able to do that. I get up on the table. I put the privacy patch. I cover up my hoo-ha. Olga proceeds to put on some gloves that have about a 1.5 inch to 2 inch nubs on them. And she goes to town. From the tips of my toes to the top of my head, she is scrubbing with vigor. I mean, she's got beads of sweat on her upper lip. About halfway through the assault, that's what I'm calling it, I lift my head off the table. My privacy patch is all the way across the floor, and my nipples are laying on the ground. I enjoyed it a little, okay. After she scrubs me, then she has to hose me off, as she says. She grabs an industrial strength hose that I'm pretty sure she ripped off of the side of a fire truck. And she proceeds to hose me down, and this hose finds places on my body I didn't even know existed. And I felt, like we should be on a first name basis, me and this hose. Anyway. Yeah, so Olga was working hard. I was dreaming a little. And after she got done, I learned 3 things that day. 1, after what happened in that room, somebody needed to buy me a steak dinner. And I'm not talking about sirloin from Sizzler. I wanted a filet mignon with a side of lobster after what happened to me. 2, I don't smoke. But on the way out the door, I asked for a light about 5 times. Because I needed a cigarette. And lastly, there was about a 50-50 chance that I got impregnated by a fire hose that day. And I called him Brad Pitt. That's all I got, guys.